Hi guys, and welcome to the 13-month update for my queen ant. Now I know some of you may be anxiously waiting this video because you don't really know what's happened since the last one. You may remember at the end of the last one everyone was dying. I think we went from about 19 workers to maybe 12, and then after that video went up it dropped down to 7. So I kind of went in crisis mode because I was like, oh my goodness, they are literally dropping dead. There was nothing left of the worm or anything in there. I couldn't work out what was wrong with them. So I decided to move them back into their test tube because not only had the colony got quite small, but it was difficult for me to kind of clean out the acrylic nest and access the ants in that acrylic nest. I just needed something very simple that they have lived in before, and that was a test tube. So I went back and cleaned out a test tube, brand new fresh water in it, and they moved in straight away, so that was great to see. Now, one thing was for sure, I made a massive mistake with putting that already dead worm in with the ants. I have certainly learnt my lesson. And I definitely say to any of you watching this, do not do what I did because it had a pretty bad impact on my colony. So for this whole month I've pretty much been giving them captive bred insects. So insects I would feed my geckos. And there was this one cricket that I think was shedding its exoskeleton, but midway through just died because it didn't have a head, but it was like coming out of an exoskeleton. I don't know what was going on. All I knew is it was dead, but his legs were fresh. So I put the legs in the test tube and the ants were all over them. Very happy with that. The annoying thing is though, they have moved the legs back to the cotton area where the water is, which is weird because they usually leave the food at one end so I can take it out, and they put the brood up the damp end. But it seems like this month the queen has been on top of the brood the entire time. The workers will come along, go underneath the queen, and they will go to the brood as they, whatever they need to do, feeding them and cleaning them and so on. But the queen has kind of been very protective. She's just over them all of the time. I don't know why that is, but yeah, pretty different. So they have been doing quite well in the test tube. Their numbers have been growing, not very quickly, but it's just good to see they're growing. They're now up to about 11 or 12 workers, and recently I have seen more and more new workers hatch out. So right at the start of the month, I think the whole nest just also went into crisis mode. They were just eating and making sure everything's healthy and everything, and just now they are starting to hatch out. We haven't had any deaths of workers, but one thing that I did find in the nest was this. It looked like an ant midway through hatching out of the cocoon, and it had kind of died midway or something. That's the only thing I found that was dead, so that's a positive. I've also noticed that pretty much none, maybe one of the pupae actually have a cocoon. The majority do not, so you can actually see them develop without a cocoon, which is pretty cool. So I don't know why that is. They have all fresh cotton and everything, they're just not making cocoons. But they're all doing well. I'm pretty happy with the progress. I don't know whether I'm going to move them straight back in the acrylic nest at the moment. I definitely gave both of the nests a thorough clean out. I know a lot of you guys mentioned about that mite that was in there. I don't think that was anything harmful towards the ants. I think it may have come on the worm, and it seemed to be more interested in eating already dead insects, so it wasn't affecting the brood or anything. And when they moved back into the test tube, it didn't follow them, it just stayed with that heap of already dead male flying ants. But yeah, I definitely made a mistake. Don't do what I did. I am thinking maybe of getting them an outworld. Some people say that the colony is too small, but I have read and I've spoken to people and they've said if the colony is foraging like they are now, they can have an outworld. And also, one of the big mistakes I think I made in the acrylic nest is the hydration situation. So I do have a water tower little thing that you get for ants, and I actually thought the way they got hydrated was through that acrylic nest. I thought where you put the water in the sponge, it seeped out. And I think it did to a certain degree, and then it either just, I put too much water in there or they just weren't getting enough water. So I think if I were to use the acrylic nest again, I would definitely need to use an Outworld with that. And with the test tube, it's okay for now, but I may invest in an Outworld for that. Just see how they go. Maybe they'll clean out some of those dead cricket legs that they keep storing. And yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'm just happy that the numbers are growing. I know a lot of you guys really want more of these videos, but they are just a monthly update. But you can always go back into playlists and see. I've got like the whole ant worlds from like the first episode. If you want other videos, there's a whole playlist about all the live food that I keep, or there's the butterfly videos, or even the sea monkey videos. So there's lots and lots to watch. But yes, I will try to do more updates on the ants. But I am fully aware that we are coming into winter in a few months' time and things are going to slow down. So I don't know if there'll be monthly updates then. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember, you can still get 10% off at antkit.co.uk with the discount code LGT2016. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, and goodbye. Look at that. And these bigger ones will be the queen, or the princesses and the princes.